Good morning and welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 1st of September. Starting off looking at euro dollar. Well, actually before I get onto euro dollar news today, well, we've already seen the Reserve Bank of Australia reporting and leaving the interest rates alone as pretty much expected there, and comments pretty much in line with other central banks at the moment, bumpy right ahead, etc. So nothing abnormal there. What have we got coming out? We've got the ISM manufacturing PMI data coming out at 3 p.m. this afternoon, and even that's, well, it's final data and stuff. I don't think we'll see massive movements by that, but in a quiet market in the afternoon it might just give a bit of volatility around there. Side of that, there's a lot of low-key data. If you're looking at some of the calendars out there, you'll see a lot of data coming out all the way through this morning, final manufacturing PMI, etc. Most of it just really doesn't move the market. It's totally ignored. So it's right the way through the market. Actually, I'm seeing a lot of lower grade type data, so not to be worried about that. Looking at the markets themselves then, Euro's getting very close to its 1.2 area. I read this morning some sellers may come into the market or start profit taking at that level. Well, be it what it may, but personally I'm still bullish on the euro for now. I'll give some more reasoning later on maybe on that, but for now, just looking at the 4-hourly here, we do have potential resistance sitting at 120, 18, 19 sort of area with a confluence with the channel line there, and the weekly R2 sitting around that area. It may just sort of pitch into that sort of zone and get a bit of a retracement. We're just at the moment teasing with the 60-minute 8. I was looking alongside potential on this, but just got to be a bit patient. It could be back to a 21. Has got an untouched daily pivot at the moment, so that might be a draw back to that 1930 area. We'll see how it goes through this morning with volumes coming a bit more, but a bit of a patience game waiting for a retracement there. As I said, if it comes back to that daily pivot, or starts getting a bit of momentum towards that daily pivot, that may be an option, but I'd rather be on the long side. As I said last week, I'd rather be on the long side of this market, and I'll be patient. Okay, looking for longs really. The pound, talking of looking for longs, well, it spent most of last week sort of pushing up there, had a bit of a retracement, slowed up, and then Friday's one hell of a bullish day in the end. Where do we sit from here? Well, it's moving ever further away from that weekly pivot. If I was ever looking at as a target, there's a bit of double divergence across the highs here, so may see a bit more of a correction as it's rolling back here a little bit. It's solid push up yesterday afternoon, and it's sort of pushed up through the Asian session here this morning. Daily pivots with it where it came within a whisker of that, but again, if this starts rolling off, it may come all the way back to that. It may even retest that 50. At 60-minute 50 seems to be quite a solid old place for the pound at the moment. But a bit of patience first thing this morning. This is a break of that 60-minute 8 may see the 21 as a buy point, or even a bit lower. Just wait for and see. Patience. The dollar yen. Well, last week we managed to break the trend line, bearish engulfing candle there, and yet on yesterday it popped back up a little bit, selling off a little bit at the moment, but there is this sort of obviously Prime Minister less at the moment, I guess. I don't know if he's actually been voted through. I haven't seen anything on the votes there, but for now, regardless, we'll see how the yen continues, but that may be a politically driven sort of uncertainty there. Looking through here, it's just purely technical. It does look like it may continue this rollover. We could be looking for a trend line break off these lows here to be a bit more certain of that move. Maybe be a bit more prudent to do so, or even just draw a more near-term line here, just see if it comes back down towards its S1 there. Prior lows could be a target. Okay, that's the dollar yen. Aussie dollar, well, data is out there, has not really affected the market at all. It's all pretty much in line, and we've seen all these central banks coming out. But once again, we've seen this again. Look, double divergence here. and well, see if we get a bit more correction. I'm just 21 would be nice. That 4 hourly 21. We'll see, but it has got support before then. It's already done its daily pivot there. Daily 60-minute 50 would be quite nice. We are seeing a bit of a roll in these markets at the moment, so patience needed. I'm just looking back at the euro actually on a different chart. It happens to be, and it did get quite overbought earlier on, so that might just see it coming back towards its 30, 34 anyway. So these markets may just see a bit more correction this morning. If they do start failing and don't find support, well, of course, short term we may just see a bit more correction. But I'm really looking to be a buyer at some point on these Aussie and the Euros, particularly Canadian dollar continuing its route here. Solid, is really solid. As I said last week, there's been a hell of a lot of buying of bonds. Beyond its highest ever level, double the original highs in bond buying, and I just think that the North American market may be heading to money. Some of the money may be heading across to Canada as a safety area, may be. Anyway, again, retracements necessary here potentially to sell into. Again, an untouched daily pivot, which if it was to really gain a bounce, it may eventually be a sell point along with a 50 if it gets there at the same time. So really just waiting to see if we get much more of a correction this morning. Aside of that, just have a quick look at oil on this 60-minute, and you can just see it's continued to range. Even yesterday, chopping range, horrible sort of movements as it looks like it's going to break into a new trend. It doesn't, and it's quite a mess at the moment, so no need to really go into much more analysis on that at the moment. Looking at gold, well, gold got a bit of a kicker this morning, and it looks like it wants to run away again, maybe, but it's become much more messy, particularly last week. This I'm just looking at this sort of 4 hourly chart over last week, very bitty chart at times, has put a higher low in near term, and well, let's just see how well that can hold, but it's struggling on this 60-minute chart around this sort of close to the 1990 sort of level, which quite a key level again. If it can break through there, well, more upside. I think overall with the presidential elections, etc., it just be maybe a safety aspect. We'll see with gold just running up at least until the outcome of that. Okay, that's pretty much it. S&Ps briefly. Let's just have a look back on the dailies there. So yesterday, a bit of a reversal there yesterday, but it looks like it wants to make some more highs yet. So just pulled back a little bit, as I say, pushing back up. It hasn't even come back to its weekly pivot. Solidish day, quite ugly actually, that move yesterday with lower high coming through. Do wonder whether we'll see a bit more of a correction today, but a break of the lower trend there. Maybe we'll see a move down towards its S1, but my money really is on the long side of these markets at the moment, the S&Ps included. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.